Where was I? Huh? Hi guys! Welcome back to another vlog. If you're new here, my name is Darla and I'm an international nursing student here in Sydney, Australia. Thank you so much for clicking the video. I hope you subscribe and I hope you learned something from this. So here are the 11 things you need to know before applying as an international student here in Australia. So these are the most common questions that I get through my YouTube channel or through Instagram DMs. And just a disclaimer, I am no expert. I am not an immigration agent. All I'm going to say in this video will be based on my experience and my friends' stories. Everyone's story will be different. It'll be case-to-case basis. So it would be good to get different opinions from different people that had different situations. So don't completely rely on this video. This is just for you to get an idea. Number one, how did you become an international student? Of course, I applied through an agency. It'll be very difficult to apply without an agency unless you're already here. So I highly just suggest that you apply through an agency and get yourself a very good agent. So these are the requirements I had to submit to be able to apply as an international student. So number one would be the English exam. You can either take the PTE or the IELTS, but I took the PTE. I found it easier because it's a computer exam, while the IELTS is face-to-face or one-on-one exam. I think that cost me around $300 something. I think, I'm not sure. Second is my diploma, college diploma and transcript from my college. Number three, bank statement, of course. The amount you'll need in the bank statement would depend on how much your tuition fee is, I think. Next, I also submitted supporting evidence such as business registration, business bank statement, just to prove that my family and I have stable income to support my expenses here in Australia. Next requirement would be CV or resume. I've spoken with different agents and they all said the same thing. There should not be any gap in your resume. When I say gap, I mean there should not be any months, or there should not be a time wherein you were unemployed or not in school. Safe to say bum, because that will be a red flag. So draft your CV carefully and have your agent check it first before you upload it. Next would be the GTE, or the Genuine Temporary Entrant requirement. So it is like a statement that you have to create through Word, wherein you would have to build a strong case telling the immigration why they should approve your visa. And also you have to make a very strong case that you are planning to go home and not to stay in whichever state you're going, in my case Sydney. So in my GTE, my first GTE, I mentioned that we have a family business. That's why I'm going to take Master of Business Administration to be able to take over the family business. That's what I did. At least that's what I said in my GTE. Okay, so for the process, I don't really remember every detail anymore, but from what I can remember, we applied for the school first, and then I waited for like a week or two until I got my COE, or the Certificate of Employment. That is what you will need to be able to apply for a visa. You can't apply for your visa until you get a COE from your chosen college or university. After that, after the COE, I had to pay a down payment to my chosen university, and that's when we applied for the visa. When you apply for the visa, you have to submit all of the requirements that I just said. And then after that, we purchased my healthcare coverage, which is required. If your chosen course would take 24 months, you would have to get insurance for at least 26 months. Again, you should still ask an agent regarding the requirements because it changes every now and then, and the requirements also vary on the state you're going to, your chosen college or uni. Number 2, how do you choose your school? So 2 steps to be able to choose a school. First step, ask your agent. Tell them what field of study you want, tell them your budget, tell them what state you want to go to. And then your agent will send you a list. And then step 2, do your own research from the list your agent gave you. Don't just pick the cheapest one or the one with the most fancy name. Please do your research because some schools are not accredited, and for you to be able to work here in your chosen field of study or industry, there are some accreditations that you're going to need. So choose your uni very carefully. I didn't choose just one. Number 3, accommodation. So here's a little story for you. Before I got here, I booked myself a hotel because I had nowhere to live yet. So my plan was to stay in a hotel for 2 weeks while I was looking for a place to live. The hotel I booked was quite expensive. Of course, I didn't pick a cheap one because I wanted to be safe. So the photos of the hotel on their website and through booking.com, it was very fancy, clean. It was just amazing. I felt like it was safe to go to, but when I got here, it was the total opposite. I got scammed. I think that's the best way to describe it. I got scammed. It was so scary. The floorboards are like very unstable. The hotel window would not even completely close, and the view from my hotel window was like this small alley wherein like guys have drinks and smoke, and it was very scary. It was very, very, very traumatizing experience. I didn't even finish the 2 weeks that I paid for. It was not worth risking my life. So luckily for you, you don't have to experience that because I have a recommendation for you, an accommodation wherein you will be safe, 100% safety guaranteed. Coming to a foreign country wherein you don't know anything and you don't know anyone's safety would be your number 1 priority. So I would like to introduce to you Amber Student. I will leave the link below so you can do your own research about it. And if you're interested in booking, I will leave the link down below as well. So Amber is a platform through which students can book their accommodation near their chosen universities. They're currently operating in more than 100 cities, including Australia, also in Europe, UK, Ireland, Spain, even in the United States. There are more than 20,000 listings in their platform, so I'm perfectly sure there's going to be one that will match your preference, will be near your university, will also cater to your budget and your liking. So how does Amber work? You can have a seamless booking experience with Amber. First, you can choose from a wide range of options according to your own preference, including low to high budget options and flexibility in size, occupation, could be sharing, could be your own studio or unit. Next, Amber provides students with round-the-clock, free and personalized assistance each step of the way. They also offer student-friendly initiatives such as no visa, no pay. So if you get your visa canceled or rejected, you don't have to worry about anything. They will give you 100% refund. They also have exclusive freebies and offers in which you would have to look out for. They would also take care of paperwork such as lease agreements. Of course, before you finalize your booking, they can also provide one-on-one live viewing session in the property you're interested in before you make your payment. Also, one good thing about Amber is you can make a booking from short-term to long-term. So if you aren't completely sure about it yet, you could just make a short-term booking and extend when you want to. So I highly, highly recommend that you book with Amber Student because it will guarantee your 100% safety. That was the one thing I did not get when I got here. So that is not what I want for you to experience. So I hope I'm able to help you through this. Number 4, what is it like to live as an international student here in Australia? So pre-COVID, international students here in Australia had a limit of 40 hours working rights per fortnight or per 2 weeks. For now, the 40-hour cap is temporarily lifted until June or July of this year, I think. You can only apply for part-time or casual positions because of the working hour limit, you can't work full-time. Of course, you would have to manage your time carefully. Time management is key. Also, budget your money wisely. Being in a new country can be very overwhelming, so think twice before you act. Fifth, is it hard to work and study at the same time? Of course! It is hard to study and work at the same time in your own country, and it's much harder doing it in a foreign country. It is not as easy and as glamorous as what you see on social media. It would take a lot of hard work and sacrifice. It would really take discipline and commitment and dedication. You would have to be really determined to be able to survive here. I currently have 2 jobs and I barely manage with what I earn with those 2 jobs. I have friends who have like 3 jobs. On top of the 2 or 3 jobs that you would have to go to school twice to thrice a week, and then you would have to do all of the assessments, exams, any school related work. I know that as an international student you have to work, but please prioritize your studies, prioritize your school. Don't let your employer make you prioritize your work over your school because you're here on student visa. Because without your student visa, you would have no visa at all and you wouldn't be even here. Number 6, is nursing difficult? Yes! I think wherever you go on this planet, nursing is always difficult. It's just a bit harder here because you have to work and study at the same time, and the uni fee is not a joke. It is extremely expensive to study nursing here as an international student. The international student fee here is like times 4 or 5 the fee for domestic students. Most of the time, nursing makes me feel like I am stupid and just not capable of anything. So you would have to finish the 800-hour clinical placement for you to be able to get your license as a registered nurse, plus working 2 to 3 jobs, plus going to school 2 to 3 times a week, plus all the studying you have to do for your assessments, your exam, your presentations, your reports. Just imagine what I have to go through. I am not scaring you, but I'm just preparing you. It is not easy. Like what I said earlier, it really takes commitment and dedication. So yeah, it is difficult, but it is not impossible. You would just have to have the discipline and the motivation so that you could get through with it. Number 7. What do I do here for a living? I think I just answered that. So aside from being a student, I work as an assistant nurse. I work through an agency, so I don't work in a specific place. They send me to different hospitals and aged cares. Aside from being an AIN, I have been working as a food attendant or server at a cafe. So if you're planning to come here, try applying in small businesses first. There are more chances of getting hired in small businesses rather than in big companies when you don't have experiences yet. I have been there for more than a year, so you would not survive here with just one job. So I highly suggest that you get more than one job while the 40-hour cap working right is temporarily lifted. Number 8. Driver's license. My vlogs usually include clips of me driving, so I get a few questions regarding driver's license. In my case, I am legally allowed to drive here with a foreign license. I have a Philippine driver's license, non-professional. So I got my car last 2020 and I had to register my license with the service NSW. But if you won't be buying a car, I don't think you need to register your license with them. But if you want to be safe, you can just go ahead and ask. Before you start driving here, I highly encourage you to ask someone to guide you that already drives here. They are very strict with road rules here. Ask someone for a favor, yeah? So if you have foreign license, you can only use it for private driving here. If you want to apply for like Uber or Menulog, you would have to convert your license to the NSW or to an Australian driver's license. Number 9, how much does it cost to study as an international student here in Australia? Of course, it will depend on your field of study. It will depend on which state you're going to. It will depend on your uni or your college. But in my case, for my MBA, it was roughly 40 to 45 it was roughly about 40 to 45,000 Australian dollars for the whole 2 years. For my Master of Nursing Practice, I think it's 70,000 something dollars for the whole 2 years, plus other fees like student amenity fees, miscellaneous fees, whatever fees they want to charge you to make money out of it, I don't know. For my partner, he's taking a certificate course in automotives, and I think it's like $25,000. I think it's like $25,000 for 2.5 years. But then again, it will depend on your field of study, your chosen state, and your chosen school. Number 10, what happens after you graduate? I'm not sure which is which, but there are certain courses here that will grant you an extra 2 years of visa after you graduate. Like in my case, I studied Master of Business, so I was supposed to get a 2 years postgrad visa. In those 2 years, you get full-time working rights. That is the window or your chance for you to get a sponsorship visa. You'd have to have an employer that is willing to sponsor your working visa so that after your 2 years postgrad, you would be granted a visa to stay here. There are also other choices if you don't want a sponsorship visa. There are so many options that I think it's impossible for me to cover it in this video. But basically, after you graduate, you have a lot of options if you want to stay here. You can look for sponsorship visa, you can apply for other visas which will grant you full-time working rights as well. You can go to regional areas to be able to start applying for a permanent residency. Again, it's case-to-case basis. It's just safe to say, if you already finished your studies, just consult with an immigration agent. Last but not the least, 11. I will be starting this year as an international student here in Australia. Any advice? Yes, of course. Surround yourself with the right people. Having the right people with you goes a very, very, very long way. Good people will influence you to study harder, to work harder, to focus on your dreams, and not lose sight of why you started this in the first place. Making the right friends is crucial in surviving here as an international student. I am very, very proud to say that I am blessed to have good friends here. The bestest friends, actually. They inspire me so much. My friends here are hard worker, very responsible, goal-oriented, career-oriented. They are very, very strong personalities. I am proud to have them as my friends because they have inspired me and they have motivated me. They have encouraged me to be my very best, and whenever I need help, even when I don't ask, they are always there for me. So I hope you surround yourself with the right people and also be blessed to have a very, very good set of friends like I do. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope I was able to help you. I hope I made some sense. This is my first sit down video, I think. So I hope I did good. If you are planning to come here as an international student, I wish you all of the best. I wish you luck. I hope all of your dreams come true. Bye!